Well, good morning, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from gorgeous San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world. Hope you guys are fired up and ready for a fantastic day today. Didn't make the video in the car this morning, was on a phone conversation, and so I had a subject that I wanted to traverse, and I'll go ahead and discuss it with you today based on what's currently happening in San Antonio, Texas. People who are not from San Antonio are unaware of something that happens about this time of the year, the beginning of springtime. We have these giant oak trees everywhere, and there is like everything in San Antonio right now is kind of layered in a kind of a yellowish dust. Oak pollen is at its highest this time of the year, and it drives a lot of people crazy. I mean, the allergies are out of control. You'll see people that look like they've been crying for 2 or 3 days, and there's folks that are sniffing, there's folks that are sneezing, coughing. There's a lot of issues that take place this time of the year because of allergies. I mean, they're really, really, really intense. The pollen count is like out of control this time of the year in San Antonio, Texas. So I began thinking about this because as I talk to folks, there are many different reactions when somebody is allergic. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bring Braveheart in here. Let me switch this around. Let me switch this around a minute for y'all, so you can see him. So you can see my boy Mel in the office. There you go. There you go. We get my boy in the background. There are many different reactions that folks have to allergies and allergens. Coughing, trouble breathing, their eyes burn, maybe there's wheezing, maybe they are sneezing, maybe they're draining mucus, but there's a lot of challenges that come with being allergic to something. And what I want to challenge you with today is I want you to think about what or who, more importantly, are you allergic to? Or like most people in San Antonio, they're going to be miserable. Sorry about that. I don't know what that delay was. Most people come to accept that they're just going to be miserable for a season, that they're going to be miserable for a season. They just accept it. Some people will try to medicate it. Some people will try to address it through, different types of methods. But at the end of the day, there's always a reaction to an allergen. So my question is, people don't realize this, but you may be allergic to certain people, and you may be suffering certain symptoms because of your allergies. You may have symptoms like diminished dreams. You may have symptoms like low self-esteem. You may have some symptoms like fear of what other people think of you, fear of failure. You may have symptoms of accepting mediocrity in your life and in your relationships. You may have a myriad of symptoms that come from the fact that you are allergic to certain type of people, and maybe you have just become familiar and so familiar with those types of symptoms that it doesn't concern you anymore because that's just the way that you've always been. Maybe it's been so long since you've experienced health that you forget how great you can feel if you remove the allergens. Now, I made a video in the past because there's a lot of gurus that say when you start growing that you're going to have to leave certain friends behind. Well, no, I think that's a bunch of crap. I think the bottom line is that you can stay in relationship with your friends. You just limit their ability to influence you based on what they are currently experiencing at that time. But you have the opportunity to model for them grace and kindness and mercy. I mean, after all, if they're your friends, like people don't have too many of those. There's a lot of acquaintances, but not many people have true friends. If you have true friends, you don't leave those guys behind. No. So getting back to that, you may have surrounded yourself by relationships and people that you are allergic to, and you're having these symptoms of fear. What are people going to think? Diminished dreams, diminished self-esteem, not believing in yourself, not believing in your abilities, feeling like you're buying into this lie that you lack resources. That's what really people think that the issue is in their life in any area. They lack the resources of finances, the resources of education, the resource of relationship. They lack the resources of opportunity. The truth of the matter is it's not a lack of resources that is a challenge for most people. It's a lack of resourcefulness. the ability to figure out how to get something done by creatively breaking out of the mold of the way things may currently be done and exercising that creativity. So looking at the current state that you are in, I would like to ask you this. Are you allergic? Are you allergic to the people that are around you right now? Are you experiencing problematic symptoms in your life that represent your allergy? I'm going to tell you, I'm allergic. I'm definite. I'm allergic to negativity. I'm allergic to whining. I'm allergic to excuses. I'm allergic to BS. I'm allergic to arrogance. I'm allergic to fear. Like, all those things that manifest in people cause a reaction in me that ain't good. And so I do my part to put myself around folks who do not create those allergy type symptoms. I'm very careful. I guard my circle very, very strongly to ensure that I am receiving and giving to those who are not in the list of allergens that I have. And I am committed to developing those who are still suffering from those allergies, by the way. So that's the question I have for you today. Are you even aware that you may be suffering significant symptoms? Are you even aware that you may be suffering some significant fallback, just like somebody who gets so used to sneezing and coughing and rubbing their eyes and being miserable and not sleeping well because of this time of the year in San Antonio, the allergens are so high they just kind of get used to it. Are you so used to feeling diminished? Not like you can do all things, not like there are possibilities available to you. You're not feeling like the resourcefulness and the abundance of this world is phenomenal and you have opportunity to partake in that, or that dreams can come true, that there is a way that you can plan if you're willing to put in the time over time and do the right things to achieve and accomplish the things that you put in your heart to do. Are you suffering these allergies and you're not even aware of it? What and who are you allergic to? You better be aware, because the people in your life are causing you to experience a set of symptoms. So, when people take a daily dose of what I intend to show up with every day, they also suffer some symptoms. Now, the people in my world in particular suffer the symptoms of believing in themselves. They suffer the symptoms of having a tremendous increase in faith. They suffer getting their body in shape. They suffer the consequences of having better marriage and better parenting. They suffer the consequences of beginning to start earning significant sums of income and managing that well. They suffer the symptoms of starting to actually look better and dress better and feel better about themselves. The symptoms that they begin to experience are symptoms of self-worth and self-value that is grounded in a humility that recognizes that we are merely using the gifts that were given to us. There is not such thing as a self-made man or woman. Nobody just showed up on an island a millionaire. They are others-made. They are, as Manny Diot, my friend, said one time, I'm an others-made man, not a self-made man, because we have taken the information and the resources and ideas and thoughts and failures and successes from many people over many years in order to become who we are. And so we give those folks credit. First and foremost, the good Lord who gives us the gifts and talents to work with. And then, of course, he will not do our part, and we cannot do his part. So if we do our part, he does his part. We're in unity with that, and we can begin to stop grinding as much and start getting into a flow. So I look to exact certain symptoms on people. I am a type of an allergen. I'm an allergen that causes people to grow. You will swell up. You will blow up if we get together and we begin to be in relationship, because it's not a stagnant thing. So I ask you, who are you allergic to? Who are you allergic to? Are you suffering the symptoms of diminished self-esteem? Are you suffering the symptoms of being broke? Are you suffering the symptoms of feeling terrible? Are you suffering the symptoms of shattered dreams? Are you suffering the symptoms of living in a relationship with somebody that is just, barely getting by, and well, we ain't killing each other, and she hadn't stabbed me lately, I hadn't beat her lately, so we good. No, have you set the standard for what a good relationship is based on stuff like that? Well, those are symptoms, and they're typically symptomatic issues and problems that accompany being around certain people. If you're a parent, I close with this. If you're a parent, you know this. You are very concerned about who your children spend time with. very concerned because you know the influence they will have on your children, even if your children are leaders. Let me remind you, your daddy's very worried about who you spend time with too. Okay? I don't care how old you are, how gray you are, I don't care how many wrinkles you got. Who you spend time with will have an effect on you. You get to choose the allergic symptoms. Do you want the allergic symptoms of fear or faith? Broke or wealth? Out of shape, in shape? Looking like crap, feeling like crap? Looking good, feeling good? What are the symptoms that you're looking for? Because, my friend, you have the power to choose who you're going to spend time with. I pray today that you choose wisely. Have a great day, guys.